So that means that your block goes the long way underneath your sitting bones. And we're going to bring the knees behind us, the heels behind us. And if you can, bring your knees together and squeeze the block in between your ankles. Now, if that doesn't feel right for you, just go ahead and take anything else. And then have your strap or towel or belt nearby. Just let it rest on your lap. And then place your hands on top of your lap as well. Palms open up. First two fingers touch together. Shoulders pull back and down. Broaden your collarbones. And think about just bringing your tailbone underneath you. So you roll a little bit forward on the sitting bones without collapsing through the spine. And broaden your collarbones. And just breathe from the inside. Spread the breath across the body. Belly, ribs, chest. Reaching the crown of the head to the sky, leveling off your chin. And just find a few more moments of that peaceful, meditative state. I'm Michelle. Grab a strap and a block if you have one. And so as we start to breathe in, we expand. And as we start to exhale, we empty. We empty not only the breath, but all the negativity, all the things that we don't need that are stale in our bodies, and that create dis-ease in our bodies. Take a moment here as you bring your hands to your heart center. Set an intention for this morning, or maybe it's the entire day, weekend. And it is a long holiday weekend, so we have lots of time together. And be grateful for that. Gently draw your chin towards your chest, bow your head down towards your hands. Release the back of the neck. And then bring your thumbs to your third eye, seal the intention for your practice. Raise your head up. Release your arms out to the side. Let them touch and flow down to the floor. Bring your right ear to your right shoulder. Not your shoulder to your ear, so let your ear come down towards your shoulder. And then take your right arm gently, pressing your ear to the shoulder. Take your left arm, keep it where it is, or some of you might want to float it out a little further, or maybe even off the floor, reaching your fingers away from your center. Good. Then release the hand if it's up and bring your chin to your collarbone. Release your hand, release your chin towards your chest. Inhale, head up, arms out to the side. Reach your fingertips all the way out. Find as much length from the center of your body. Then float them down and let your left ear come to your left shoulder. Take your left hand and gently guide your ear to the shoulder. Walk your right hand out to your fingertips, or some of you might want to lift off the floor. Ooh. A little surprised by the doggy. And then release your hand to the floor and lower your chin to your collarbone. And then release your hand, chin to the chest. Take your arms behind you, interlace your fingers, palms together, knuckles down. And if right here, if you need your strap, use it. Lift your heart. And then release the arms, stretch them overhead. Reach, 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 reach. And then bring your hands to your strap or your towel. And if you're not using it, you'll just do the same movements. Have your arms wider than your shoulders. And my strap has give to it, but it doesn't need to have give, so just widen your arms. Take a breath in, lengthen from the sides of the body, bring the tailbone underneath you. And on the exhale, just turn your torso to the right side. Keep pulling your arms apart, relax your shoulders down. Inhale to the center. We'll take the same thing to the other side. So as I'm turning my torso, I'm pulling my arms apart. They're not going anywhere. Come back to center, inhale. Now lift your heart up. If your strap is wide enough, some of you will be able to take the arms behind you, all the way back behind you, like we just had them, but not clasped. So let your body be your guide. It might not be appropriate for everybody, right? Take your arms back up, overhead, And then return to your right side. Inhale to the center. Exhale to the left side. Inhale back to center. Exhale, take your arms behind your back, opening up your shoulders to whatever extent your body's allowing. Inhale, bring the arms up. And then exhale, bring your arms down in front of you. Let your shoulders roll back and around a couple times. Good. Take the strap into your right hand and bring the long part behind your head. And elbow points to the ceiling. Take your left arm, reach the thumb up in front of you. Then turn the palm away from you. Reach the hand behind your back, up your back, and grab somewhere on the strap. Doesn't have to be close, doesn't have to be far, just reaching and pulling against each other. Again, your strap's not going to necessarily move. I mean, mine does, but yours won't, unless you're using a band of some sort. Breathe in, breathe out. And just lean over to your left side a little bit. Keep your sitting bones grounded. Inhale back to center. Good. Release your arms slowly. Release the strap, roll it around. Take the strap in your left hand. Arm up by your ear, bicep by the ear. Right arm in front of you, thumb up, shake my hand, then flip it open. Return it, bring it up your back. And again, this is not going to work for everybody's bodies, and so you'll do what you need to do. If you don't hold on to the strap, you can hold on to your hips. Good, so keeping the bicep by the ear for most of us, bringing the arm up the back for many of us. Lean to your right side, get a little bit deeper into the tricep stretch. And then return back to center. Good, release the band, release the strap, release your arms, and then just come up gently to your hands and knees. Move the block, bring it underneath or at the top of your mat. Good, I'm just gonna pad my knee a little bit. Some of you will do that as well. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips, arch your back. You can tuck your toes or keep them under. Exhale, round and curl, a little bit of cat-cow action here. Arching the back, broaden the collarbones. Exhale, round and curl, tuck your tailbone under, spread your shoulders. And do several rounds like that using your breath, inhaling to arch your back. Exhale to round your back. Inhale, arch. Exhale, round. Good, keep going until you find your next full round where you end up in a neutral position. Right here on the floor. Neutral tailbone and head in the same line. Good. Take your weight into your left hand in both legs. Right arm comes out in front of you. And then sweep the arm back and around a couple times in one direction. Just, again, loosening up the joints here. And then reverse the direction. You can tuck your toes or not. And then on the last one, take your right arm up in the air, open up your twist. And then bring your right arm underneath your left arm, back of the head towards the floor, palm up. Left arm moves forward, hips move to the center, and we reach in two different directions. Any option with your left leg, it's up to you. Oh, Michelle, now you know that I played this the other day. Okay. Hug your hips in towards the midline, but I have a feeling you don't mind hearing it. Breathe in, breathe out. Good, now take your arms out in front of you, both arms in front of you, drop your chin, chest. Keep your elbows off the floor. Maybe your forehead will go down instead of your chin, maybe neither. And then push your hips all the way to child's pose. Reach your fingers forward and your hips back. Breathe into the under parts of your arms and spread the breath across shoulder to shoulder, rib to rib, hip to hip. Inhale onto your hands and knees. Keep your right hand on the floor, left arm reaches out in front of you. And do a couple of circles back. And if you went in the other direction, don't worry, because now you're going to reverse it. And then let's take this last one up. Open up your chest. Take your left arm under your right arm moves to the front. Left palm is up, hips hug to the center. If you're doing anything with your legs, find balance, find stability. Keep the breath free flowing. Take a few rounds here. Notice what's going on in the body this morning. Do we have any points of tenderness that we are dealing with? More than usual, less than usual. Take another breath as you bring your left arm forward. Both arms in front of you, puppy dog pose, chin down or head down. And then push your hips to your heels, child's pose. Spread your fingers broad. Good. Inhale back to your hands and knees. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Take your right leg behind you and tuck the toes underneath you. Square your hips and shoulders. Press the left top of the foot, shin down. And then lift your right leg up without compromising the evenness of your shoulders stand, right? So you don't want to lean to your left side. Bring your right knee to your right tricep or your shoulder. Extend the leg, toes point forward, and lower the foot to the floor. Walk it out as far as it'll go. It's in line with your left knee. And walk your hands a little bit more forward. Hug your hips to the midline. And then walk your hands underneath you and have your strap nearby if you have it, towel strap, and come up to standing on your left shin. If you need to be supported on your left, underneath your left knee. Take your arms wide again. Inhale. Good. Hug your hips to the midline. Exhale, lean up and over to the right side. Just a nice side stretch while we open up the front chest shoulder. Good. Should feel pretty good. Inhale. Exhale, lean to the left side without touching down to the floor. Inhale, come back up. Hold the strap in your left hand. Bring the right hand behind you. Inhale. And exhale, once again, lean to the right. Good. Feel a nice release out of the left hip. Inhale to center and just do a short lean to the left. Not as exciting, but balancing. Inhale, come back. Release your strap, release your hands to the floor. Sweep your right leg behind you, turn the toes off the mat. Hug your left hip towards your center line. Inhale. Hugging, hugging, hugging. Left hand stays down. Right leg sweeps behind you. Spin open into half moon on your knee. Right arm up in the air, right leg up in the air. Now turn your torso, stack your shoulders, and without using your hands, bend your right knee back towards your buttocks, or your heel towards your buttocks. Push your hip towards the right side of your mat. Reach, 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 reach. Good. Keep your leg bent. Take your right arm down. Take your foot into the air, hips are squared. Round and curl, knee to chest. Step your right foot all the way through. Release your back knee, so move it back a little further. And go ahead and just put your hands on blocks for a moment, if you have them. Shoulders back and down, heart lifts. So work here on getting the hips towards the midline, hugging them towards center. Work right now with your foot down, pressing into the top of the foot shin to give you a little bit of conversation into the thigh. And then inhale, place your hands on top of your thigh and lift your chest up. Keep dropping your pelvis, dropping your hips. Inhale, stretch the arms out, shoulder height, thumbs up. Exhale, twist to your right side, right arm goes back. Now lean forward with your left hand, bring it on the floor or block. Inside, right arm comes up. Hug your hips towards the midline again. Keep reaching so you find space in the right side of your body. Inhale. And exhale. Beautiful. One more. Hands down on either side of your right leg and straighten it up. Toes up or down. Pull the right hip back, left hip forward. Head towards the shins. Breathe in long, deep, and fully. lengthen on the inhale, fold on the exhale for the next breath. And then rebend your front knee, inhale. Tuck your back toes underneath you. Lift the knee up, keep the hips low. Downward dog, hips up in the air. Rise onto your tippy toes, and then lower your heels to the floor. Good. Rise on your toes again. Keep the arms and legs straight as you shift into a plank position. Keeping the arms and legs straight, just drop your hips through, pull your collarbones through. You're in an up dog on your toes, so your legs are actively off the floor. And then we go back to downward facing dog. Good. Inhale, lower your knees to the floor. Adjust your hands under your shoulders. Take your left leg off behind you, toes down on the floor. And remember not to lean into your right hip, but to hug the right hip in and square your torso. Inhale, lift the left leg off the floor. Point the toes, bring the knee towards the shoulder. Extend the leg out. Toes point forward, and then lower the foot. The foot is approximately in line with your knee, your right knee. And then walk your hands out in front of you. And I apologize if you're slipping like me on the floor, but it happens. Hug your hips to the midline and lower your chest. Walk your hands under your shoulders, inhale. Take your left leg behind you. Take the foot over to the right side. Let your hip follow it for a moment so you notice it, and then draw the hip back in, but keep pushing the left leg off to the side. Inhale. Good, pushing the top of the foot, shin down. Good, we're gonna keep the right arm down. We're gonna spin the body around to the left side and come into a kneeling half moon pose. Left arm up, left leg out. Lift the right side of your torso up and open. Arm can come over your head. Now bend your top leg, flex the foot, bring the heel towards the buttocks. Push your hips away towards the left side of your room. Breathe in, out. Good, now release the left hand, keep the left knee in the air, and then step it through between your two hands. Place your hands on the floor blocks, lift up your torso, and just make sure your back knee is far enough back that you're not sitting on your knee. Hug your hips towards the midline. Big toe of the left foot presses down. That will help you. Hands on your thigh just to give you a little bit of a lift here. Good. Bring the arms up. Inhale. Open the arms to a T. Exhale. Turn to the left side. Reach your right arm forward. Right hand on the floor or block. Left arm up, twist. So your belly should be not on your thigh. Should be nowhere near it, really. So get the torso to move. Get your waistline away from your thigh. This is the space that we create before we move. One more breath. Good. Empty the breath, hand down. Straighten your front leg as best you can. It's early morning for our hamstrings, a lot of us, so just pay attention. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Good. Good. Next breath, we move forward back into our lunge. Tuck your toes underneath you. Keep your toes down. Keep your hips low, but lift the knee off the floor. So your back leg is in a plank position. And then press the hands down. Step back, downward dog. Inhale high on your toes. Shift to high plank. Resist the earth with your hands. Without bending your arms or knees, shift into your upward facing dog. And then downward facing dog. Soften your knees and look to the front of your mat. Take a few little steps to get yourself to the top of the mat. When you get there, put 2 fists in between your feet. Measure out approximately the width of your hips. Now bend your knees enough that your chest and belly do rest on your thighs for the moment. And once you're down there and you notice what's going on, do you want to straighten your legs? Better yet, do your legs want you to straighten them, right? Your head might want to, but your legs might not. Good, take your strap into your hand and tuck your chin to your chest, roll up to standing. Good, one more time, open your strap out. Feet are grounded, so we're nice and strong through the legs. Inhale, bring the arms overhead. Exhale, lean to the right side, pull the strap apart. Now pull your left shoulder back, lift out of the right side of your torso. And then inhale, bring yourself back up. Exhale, up and over to the left side, pull your right shoulder back, heart, throat open. Inhale, back to center. Stretch the arms behind you. Keep the arms behind you, roll your hands in closer, and forward fold. Bring the arms away from your back. So you can have your arms pulling the strap apart a little bit again, folding into the place where your legs want to take you. And then release your head forward, release your arms down, and bring yourself up to a standing position. And now release your strap. Take it down by the side to the floor. Bring your feet closer together. Roll your shoulders open, big toe down on the floor, firmly grounding the feet. Stretch the arms overhead, inhale. Bring prayer to your heart center, fold your hands to the floor or blocks. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step, high plank, take a breath, pause. Shift your shoulders a little in front of your wrist, bend your elbows, bend your knees if you'd like. Go halfway down, shoulders in line with elbows. Then roll over, upward dog. Now you're in your traditional upward dog. Downward dog, hips up in the air. Breathe in and breathe out. So breathe down the sides of your body, breathe into the waistline, into the arms, to the back sides of your body, and let go. Inhale on your tippy toes, bend your knees, look forward, and take yourself to the top of your mat. However you get there, halfway lift when you do. Exhale, forward fold. And now ride your breath to standing any way you want. Hands to your heart center. Release your arms by your side. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Hands through your heart center prayer. Hands to floor, shins, or block. If you step back, see if you can step back with the opposite leg, high plank, take a breath. Shift forward, bend your elbows or knees or both. Take extra push-ups if it's in your practice. Or skip the whole thing and just find your downward facing dog. Good, high on your toes, bend your knees, look forward, take yourself to the top of your mat, halfway lift when you get there. Exhale, fold, let it go. Inhale, rise to stand, bring your arms overhead. Exhale, take the prayer to your heart. One more time, Surya Namaskar A. Inhale, bring your arms up. Exhale, forward fold, hands to floor, shins or blocks. Inhale, halfway lift. Good, exhale, step to high plank, take a breath. Lower to low plank as many times as you choose to do that. Upward dog, on your toes, firm legs, firm arms, and downward dog. Bring your feet together, back of the mat. Inhale high on your tippy toes. Lift your right leg up in the air. Now turn your right hip to the side, lower your left heel, but pull your right underarm to the floor. Bend your right knee, just like we did on our knees. Keep the heel towards the buttocks. Inhale, bring your right knee to your right tricep. Look forward. Bring your knee to the center and step the right foot all the way through. Good. Rise onto your fingertips or your blocks so you get your belly a little bit off your thigh. Bring the arms up overhead, inhale. Exhale, lean to the right side. You can clasp your hands or not, doesn't matter. Lower your hips down, inhale. Rise up. Exhale, open the arms, shoulder height. Spin your torso right. Inhale, reach forward, left hand down. Right arm up. Left hand can be on a block, left knee can be on the floor. Crown of the head and tailbone line up with each other. Your back leg, if it's not on the floor, if your knee's not down, is very strong as if you were in a plank position. Good. Inhale, right hand down. Straighten your right leg. Pull your hips back. Feel free to shorten the stance or use your blocks. Even have the knee a little bit bent. But just fold over the leg. I'm keeping it in a Y stance. There is a method to that madness, but if you want to shorten it, that's perfectly fine. Inhale, lengthen. Bring your right hand inside of the right foot. Turn your left foot on its side. Good. So walk your right hand back a little bit under your shoulder, a little bit more rather than on the inside of the foot by your toes. Take your left hand and trace your left arm up. So this is a triangle pose. And you know I love triangle pose, but coming into it this way gives us not as much space. So inhale, look down at your toes. Rise up to standing. Both arms and legs are straight. Now, some of you here will definitely want to shorten your stance. 1 or 2 times. Shoulders stack over hips, legs are strong, firm, active. Move your hips to the back of your mat, move your torso to the front. Reach your arms as far out as you can go out of your waistline till you can't go anymore. And then lay your hand on your foot shin block in front or behind your leg. And then if you have a wall and you want to be against the wall, stack your shoulders and hips against the wall. Both sides will touch. Maybe. Inhale, triangle pose. Exhale. Look down at your toes. Inhale, lift your left arm really high. And then pull yourself up and reverse your triangle pose. Move your left hip towards your right hip. Come back up to standing. Turn your right toes forward towards the left side. And if you have your strap nearby, go ahead and grab it. So your feet are wide, parallel to each other, to the short edge of your mat. Take the strap in your right hand, hook it behind your head, take your left arm, spin it around. We've done this a couple times now. And reach your arms towards each other. Towards each other. They don't have to touch. Keep the bicep by the ear. Inhale. Good. Soften your knees. And then exhale, fold yourself down. And go wherever you go. Good. Put a little bend into the knees, especially if you're super flexy. Or a little bit more weight forward. Bring your chest towards your thighs. And just breathe. Good. Fold, fold, fold. Take another breath. Good. Inhale, use the strength of your body to come on up. Release your arms. Roll your shoulders back and around. Good. We're going to put the strap to the right side of our mat. Turn your left toes forward. Turn your right toes forward. Turn your left toes forward. Come into your low lunge. Place your hands to the floor. And then kick your right leg high in the sky. Open the right hip to the right side. Just move the hip and the ankle. And let's square off our bodies. Chest to your thighs. Bring your feet close together. Lift your left leg up in the air. High up on your right toes to start. Get as much height in your hip. Then as you open the hip, lower your right heel. And then bend your left heel towards your buttocks. But keep your left arm holding you as evenly as your right arm. And then turn your torso square, bring your left knee to your left tricep as you shift into plank. You can also be on your knees. Left knee to the center. Step it on through. Come into a low lunge position, hands on either side of the foot or on the blocks. Lengthen your spine. Good. Inhale, rise up to stand, arms up. Lower your hips, breathe. Inhale, reach out of your waistline. Draw your tailbone underneath you and bring your back leg nice and firm. Take a breath in and lean to your left side. Good. Inhale, back up. Open your arms to a T, turn your torso to the left. Reach forward with your right arm, right hand down on the floor block, left arm up. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, and exhale. One more breath. Left hand down, left leg straight. Fold over your left shin. Good, breathe. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Just find some peace in this pose. It's a very challenging pose. Your hamstrings are tight. Your body doesn't want to give in so fast. Take another breath. Good, now we're going to turn the right foot on its side. Left hand on the inside of your left foot. Bring it a little bit further so it's right under your shoulder. Of course, the block is helpful. And then trace your right arm up and find triangle just for about a breath and two. So notice where you are in this pose right here. And then look down. Rise up to standing. Shoulders and legs are straight. Bring your back foot in once or twice, if that's your practice. If you feel like you need to shorten your stance. Now bump your hip to the right, bring your torso to the left, reach as far out as you can. Left arm comes down, right arm comes up. And then stack shoulders, stack hips, reach out of your waistline, find space. Inhaling and exhaling. Good. Make sure you're not dumping into your left side. You can lift your arm up and nothing will change in your torso. Look down at your left toes. Inhale, rise up. Straight arms, straight legs. Reverse your triangle. Inhale, rise up. Turn your left toes to the right. And just gently pick up your strap. Put it in your left hand. Bring the arm up overhead, bicep by the ear, right arm comes out and around, and reach wherever you reach, right? It doesn't matter, close, far, it's all individual. Lift and lengthen, inhale. Exhale, fold yourself down, sending the weight towards the balls of your feet, soft knees. Good. Perhaps pointing your left elbow towards the floor and your sitting bones up to the sky. Take another breath. Inhale, begin to rise up. Release your hands, release your bind. Place it on the floor. Good. Turn yourself to the front of your mat. Hands on floor blocks, left leg comes in the air, open up your hip, bend your knee. And then find your downward dog, stay here, or clean the palate with a vinyasa. You choose, adding as many or as few push-ups as you'd like. Feet are back together at the back of the mat. Inhale, lift your right leg nice and high. Open the hip, bend the knee. Square the hip knee. You need a chest in the center of the mat. Right foot steps through, left foot turns on its side. Warrior two to come up. So now the right knee is bent. Good. Inhale. Left arm down, right arm up. From here, straighten your front leg. Adjust your back foot in once or twice if you'd like, and reach your torso forward into your triangle pose. Good. Now look down at your right foot. You can have your left hand on your hip for balance. You can put a block on the floor. You can use your hands, and you can also go to your back knee, or your right knee actually. Now come forward, and then take your right hand down and start to float off the floor for your half moon pose. We did this on our knee earlier. Begin to straighten the front leg, the standing leg. Hug it into the midline. Press all the toes firmly down. Press your left leg out and away from your waistline. And then spin your torso, stack your shoulders. Eye gaze can be up or down for balance. They'll be more challenging once you start to turn your eye gaze. And if you do that, do it slowly. Nice, Maria. Good. There you go. Make sure your hand is a little bit more under your shoulder, Lauren, like rather than so far in front of you. All right, take a breath in, everybody. Bring your left hand back to your left hip, bend your right knee, send your left leg back, and find warrior two. He's so excited. Inhale, straighten your front leg, turn to the left side, and this time just bind your arms behind your back or use your strap, lift your chest, and forward fold over your legs. And then release your hands underneath your shoulders, inhale. Look forward, turn forward. Put your weight in your right leg, kick your left leg up. You can be on your blocks, and then bend your left knee. Some of you might even grab one or two hands to your left foot. So you can choose the one that's, probably the left one is the more open one. So you're in a warrior three with a bound arm leg position. One more breath. And then release the bind carefully. Step back to your low lunge. Take your three-legged version of the dog. Bend your right knee, shoulders square. Look over your left shoulder, and if you like flipping your dog, flip it over. Good, release it. Right leg back in the air. Keep your down dog, bring your knee to your chest, then settle your foot to the floor and decide if you want to stay here or take a vinyasa. We'll meet in down dog. Feet together. Inhale, lift your left leg high in the sky. Open your hip, bend your knee. Inhale, bring your left knee to chest center. Exhale, step it through. Turn your right foot on its side and wiggle open to warrior two. Right arm pulls back, so your shoulders stack over your hips. Left thigh parallel to the floor, back foot is pushing down, turning almost towards the front corner of your mat. Legs are strong, inhale. Exhale, right hand down, left arm up. Straighten your front leg. Inhale, rise up. Shorten your stance if that's your practice, and move your hips to the right, torso to the left. And if you don't know if it's your practice, play with it. Right arm up over left, tucking the tailbone underneath you, finding space. We're going to create the same shape in the air, so nothing changes except one leg, right? Hand can stay up or come to your hip. Soften your left knee. Bring your left hand to the floor, in front or on top of, or on a block. And then first work at hugging your left hip in and lifting out of your waistline. Bring your tailbone towards your, it lines up with your back heel. And then the right arm maybe comes up. Maybe your eye gaze goes up. Half moon, Ardha Chandrasana. Very nice. Good versions, everybody. Beautiful. Now, put your right hand back on your hip. Soften your left knee and make your way back to warrior two. Inhale. Good. Exhale, reverse. Inhale, straighten both legs. Turn your left toes to the right, 1/4 turn. Take the opposite hand grip you took before. So one finger over and lift your chest up. Squeeze your arms together to forward fold over your legs. Arms come up, head goes down. Good, inhale, release your hands under your shoulders, lengthen your spine. Walk around to the front of your room, bend your front knee, hands can be on blocks. Float your weight into your left leg, hips are squared. Bend your back leg, should be your right leg. Maybe that's all you do. Maybe you grab a hold of it with one or two hands. You know, you can try. And if you come out of it, great. And maybe the next time you try, you'll stay in it longer. Try not to open your hip. Try to keep your hips squared. I hope that's your good foot, Lauren. Okay. And then if you're holding it, release it. And let's go ahead and step the back foot back. Take your left leg in the air, three-legged. Open your hip. If you like to flip your dog, take it up and over. Find your space. Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Release it. Left leg up. Downward dog, knee to chest. 4 on the floor. Take a vinyasa to clear it up. Upward dog. Downward dog. Walk your feet a little bit towards the center of your mat. Come to your fingertips, lengthen your spine, and fold. Inhale, ragdoll to stand all the way up. Bring your hands together, feet together, prayer to the heart. Bring your right arm by your waistline, palm up. Bring your weight to your left leg, bend your right knee, and then lift the right leg off the floor. Bring the leg behind you. Take your right hand, hold on to the inside of the ankle, or if you like the outside, you know who you are. Left arm up in the air. Stay with this. Or begin to kick your foot away. Keep the arch in the back. Keep the hips as squared as you can. Once that right knee starts to shoot out to the side, back it off. That's it. Where's Michelle? Nice and good. Beautiful, guys. That's it. Stay for another breath. Find some peace here. Be careful what you wish for. And then come on back to center. Slowly release. Separate your feet hips width apart. Fold over, grab your peace fingers around your big toe. Look forward, inhale. Exhale, elbows out to the side as the head comes down to the shin. The weight shifts forward into the balls of the feet. Let go. Shake out your neck. Let go of tension. Inhale with a half lift. Release your toes and bring your hands to your hips. Come on up to standing. Heel toe your feet together. Bring your hands to your heart. Bring your left arm to your waistline, palm up. Bring your weight to your right leg without collapsing. Bend your left knee and reach for the inside or the outside of the foot. First, you got to tuck your tailbone underneath you, and you've got to hug that right hip to the center. Then perhaps the right arm comes up in the air, and we start to hinge and kick at the same time. So we keep the back bend aspect of this, and we keep the hip and the knee extending. Breathe in. And which side is your A side, right? You know, we have a side that sometimes behaves better for us. Take a couple breaths. Take your time, come back. Release your hands, release your foot. Separate your feet, fold forward. Bend your knees enough that you can lift your toes up and slide your hands all the way underneath. And rest your big toe around your wrist. Look forward, inhale. And exhale. Fold in half and draw the elbows out to the side. Halfway lift, inhale. Release your hands from your feet. Look forward. Wherever you are, find downward dog. You can jump it, you can take it through a vinyasa, or you can just meet in dog. Bring your knees back to the earth. Tabletop position. Good. Take your right leg behind you. Lift it up. Hips to squared. Bring it to your left side. Tuck the toes underneath you and hug the hip in. We've been here. We've already been here today. Good. Now you're going to bring your left shin towards the right side of the mat, or your left toes, and bring your right knee behind your left knee. Have your strap nearby, have a block nearby. If your hips are feeling tight as you come to sit down on the floor, then sit on a block. If this is too much, you can do this on your back, or you can sit cross-legged. Take your strap in your left hand. One more time. Should be ready for this. Arm up, bicep by the ear, right hand comes behind you and takes the strap somewhere. Now for a lot of us, this is enough. This is more than enough. And some of you might choose to fold forward. If that happens, bring your chin in front of your knee, not resting on it if possible. And in front means just, guiding it that way. It might not necessarily go there. And then just close your eyes and settle for a few moments of breathing. Taking your mind away from what you're feeling in your bodies and just allowing the action to happen. And allow the breath to keep you slow and steady. Take another breath. Good. Slowly release your arm bind. We'll come up from sitting, sorry. Come back onto your hands and knees. Tuck your toes and lift your hips in the air. Funky dog. And then just release your legs. Come back down to your hands and knees. Take your left leg behind you. Lift it up off the floor. Sweep it around to the right. Tuck your toes and draw your right hip to center. Good. Now bring your right shin and toes towards the left side of the mat. Bring your left knee behind your right, so your feet are further apart. Have a seat on the floor blocks or on your back. Take your strap. Right hand. Well, I'm going to put the block under me because I'm feeling really tight today. So it's going to help me level out my hips. Right arm up, bicep by the ear, bend the arm. Left arm goes behind you and up your back. Breathe. I hope you guys are doing some kind of activity today that involves your arms and you'll be nice and open. Golf, tennis, swimming, rowing. Stay upright or fold forward, chin in front of the knee. Breathe. Take slow, easy breaths, gang. And if you're folded forward, come back to sitting. And then gently release the strap from your hands. Move it off to the side. Come to your hands and knees. Tuck your toes underneath you. Funky dog. And then downward facing dog. Maybe your arms need to move a little bit. Take one more vinyasa here. Take 100 push-ups or one. Downward dog. Hips up in the air. Walk your feet and hands together. Ragdoll yourself up to standing. Bring your hands to your heart. Bring your feet together. Come high up on your tippy toes, bend your knees, and seat yourself all the way down towards your heels. So I'm just going to turn my mat around a little bit. So have a seat, low seat on your heels in a low squat. And then some of you will please change your cameras, but have a seat on the floor. Bring the soles of your feet together. Baddha Kanasana, holding onto the feet, or have your feet in front of you. You can rock side to side and get a little bit close. You can also have your hands behind you on the floor of the block and stay upright. And breathe. especially now that my shoulders are nice and open. So, let your body kind of guide you into it right now. Take another breath. And then gently release your hands to your knees and shake out your legs. Rock side to side. Have a block nearby. Bend your knees again. Put your feet on the floor. Hold on underneath your thighs. Lift your chest up. Good. So I'm starting up straight. Release the arms. Hold on. Actually, hold on to your block if you have it. Since we're going to use it, we might as well take it with us. Keep your knees apart. If you have two blocks, put the other block between the knees. Round your spine, so I'll show you that. It would be like that. Chin to chest, round your back. Take your time as you find your tailbone, your middle back, your upper back, and your head to the floor. So the block that was in your hands, lift your hips up in the air. Place the block on one of the three heights and let your hips rest on it. If you have the block in between your knees, you can keep it there or let go of it. So you're on a block for support, for bridge. You'll have either a low or medium or high height, your choice. As long as you're not clenching your glutes to stay up on the block because you're supported. If you're in a regular bridge without support, yeah, the back side of your body's going to work a little bit more. Now while you're on the block or your back is on the floor, bring your legs up off the floor if you're holding on. If you have a high block, you might need to hold on. And extend your legs in the air. So I have the block between my legs because I was demonstrating and I just never took it out, but you can certainly take it out. And let the weight of your torso, of your legs, your hips, your pelvis, sink into the block. And then relax your feet. Good. Now, bend your knees again. Place your feet on the floor. If you're on a high block, you may want to choose to go on a lower block. And begin to stretch your legs out in front of you. I'm going to let my block go from between my legs. Good. And then you're in maybe a big arc or a less arc. Opening up the front of your hip a little bit more. And just relax onto the block. If this is too much, take the blocks out. Just stretch your legs out. Breathe in, breathe out. Good. Now slowly begin to bend your knees. Put your feet back on the floor. Lift your hips up off the block. Articulate your spine down to the floor. Hug your knees into your chest. Rock on your spine. Give it a little bit of a massage. Open your arms to a T. Move your knees close together and towards your chest. Shift your hips right and let your knees fall left twist. Left hand on the outer right thigh. Right arm can stay there or go higher up over your head. Open your arms to a T. Inhale back to center. Shift your hips left, let your knees fall to the right. And blocks are fine if they're in between your legs or underneath. Or just move them to the side. Right hand can rest on the left thigh, left arm can go over your head. to center. Hug your knees all the way up to your chest. Round and curl. Pull your belly in. Good. Lay your head back on the floor. Lower your legs in front of you. Stretch your arms over your head. Hook your thumbs and reach your arms up and away from your center point. Point your toes and reach them as far away from your center point as you can. And then just move the right side of your body and the left side a couple times, just stretching long, long, long. And then come to center. Take a breath in and just engage all the muscles you can even think of, and then some you can't think of. So bring your hands into fists. Make your face really tight and scrunchy. Squeeze your glutes, your abs, your shoulders, your belly, your legs, your toes. Some of you might want to lift everything off the floor. Take a breath in. And as you empty the breath, let everything release to the floor. Release all the tightness, the taut muscles down away from you. And let your body surrender into the earth on the floor. From head to toe, completely relaxed. Let your body absorb the physical practice that we've done. And bring yourselves into this more spiritual, meditative release. Take a breath in. Exhale and let it all go. Have the opportunity to stay longer, or just turn off the sound and stay on your mat. If you're ready to come back, start to deepen your breath. Move your fingers, toes, wrists, ankles slowly. Bring your knees towards your chest. Take yourself onto either side. And come up to a sitting position. Bring your hands to your heart center. Any comfortable seat, you can start the way we started in vinyasa on a block. And bring your hands to your heart center, just absorbing the practice down to your very, very heart, and through all the atoms and all the little integral parts of our body that we don't think about on a daily basis, what keep us moving, breathing. And then bow to each other as you honor the beauty, the peace, the light, the goodness within each one of us. Namaste, Satnam, go in peace. Happy Saturday, happy Memorial Day. We're here tomorrow at 10:30. We're here Monday for fitness at 8:30. And for you at home, stay fit, stay healthy, get vaxxed, wear a mask.